Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly with this review. Every time I think I am so done with zombies, I don't want to see another zombie movie for the rest of my life. Somebody makes something that I go, well, I gotta watch something for this week so Wes won't yell at me and have a good review. And here we are this week with something that I actually kind of enjoyed. In fact, one of the reviewers I was looking up, one of the people, just regular people like you, reviewed it on IMDb, said it's probably one of the best character-driven zombie films since 28 Days Later, and I totally agree. This movie is currently on Amazon Prime, and it's called Apocalypse, The Beginning of the End. And actually, it's based on three books, a trilogy of books, and this, I guess, takes place in the first book by someone named Manuel Lorero. And it takes place in Spain. So some of you are going to not like this movie because it's dubbed, and I've heard this before. It's like, I don't want subtitles and I don't want dubbed. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's dubbed, and it's a pretty good film. Basically, the lead character, Manuel, is sheltering from, and it's kind of like 28 Days Later. It's rabid zombie kind of rabies kind of disease. And this looks at it in a much, and it's going across the planet, but we only kind of focused in Spain in this little area, and he has to eventually leave. His sister is somewhere off. A part of the first part of the movie that gives you a little gravitas, a little backstory about his life, what's kind of sad. He's an attorney, makes solar panels, and things haven't just been great for him the last year, that you'll find out when you watch it. And he has to make a journey to try to find his sister. She is married to someone who works in the government, and they're in the Canary Islands, and he's trying to get there. It's a good movie. It's really well acted. It's really well executed, but there's nothing new. If you've ever seen a zombie movie, you know exactly what happens, what can happen. There's even a part where trigger warning for you parents, maybe with newborns. There's one particular scene's a little rough. It's really quick, but it just depressed me. This movie depressed me. I watched it over 3 days, and it's because its character, it's kind of sad. And it's not the saddest movie I've ever seen, but for some odd reason, it just depressed me. And I had a hard time getting through it over 3 days. And it's not because it's a bad movie. It's just these are believable people. And that's the best compliment I could give. It's just a little sad. There's not a lot of hope. It's not the most bleak thing I've ever watched. There's way, way more bleak films. He does get a little bit of redemption at the end, and he's a good dude. You're following a good person who's trying to make the best through a really bad situation, and they make it fairly believable of what would happen. What I mean, if you were there, how would this go? How would this transfer? How would the government handle it? How would you navigate your way? It's a pretty believable movie. This movie has three-dimensional characters that you care about, that you don't want things to happen to them. And that's the best compliment you could almost give to any movie, especially a horror film, that does sometimes never pays attention to characters. It's all about character, as Tom Holland said on the stage at Scarefest. He's right. Character. These are believable characters. This movie is pretty good, and you should definitely check it out if you have Amazon Prime. It's called Apocalypse, The Beginning of the End. Once again, based on three books. Would I watch the next two movies? Absolutely. It's pretty good. And the acting in it is so good. I mean, just some of you are going to complain about the dub. I don't care. It's a really good movie that you should check out. I think the IMDb rating is 6.1. It's better than that. The only issue I can throw at it is that I've seen it all before. Even the third act that takes place in a hospital, not giving anything away, is very reminiscent of that World War Z, which is nothing like the book. So if you get a chance, watch this movie. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.